Well, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like we finally have a conclusion to the story regarding Activision Blizzard and the lawsuit that was happening over in California. Now, this story broke a long time ago, and it's been kind of quiet. Activision Blizzard has been trying to do everything they possibly can to clean up their image. They've done some ridiculous things like censoring certain artwork in World of Warcraft, for example, or putting some sort of like gender neutral nonsense in World of Warcraft, or doing like some sort of chat protection in Call of Duty. I mean, they've done so many things to try to clean up their image, but now apparently, and if you guys want to go back to my older videos and see what I said, I specifically remember saying that there was no way that this was actually going to see a courtroom, that this was going to be settled by Activision Blizzard, and it was only a matter of time. And now we have an article here from Fandom Pulse with a headline that reads, Activision Blizzard has settled civil rights lawsuit over sexual misconduct in California. So let's get into this article, guys, from Fandom Pulse. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button, man. I would greatly appreciate it, and like the video to push us out into the YouTube algorithm. So it says the California Civil Rights Division and Activision Blizzard have reached an agreement in response to the latter's allegations that the company had become a breeding ground for harassment and discrimination against women. A settlement fund of approximately $46 million will be established to compensate workers affected by toxicity and discrimination within the company, primarily women who worked for or were contracted by Activision Blizzard in California between October 12, 2015 and December 31st, 2015. So that is literally 2 months, ladies and gentlemen, of employment that is going to get $46 million spread across. Now, this settlement is not unexpected, okay? Like I said before, in my last video that I made on this subject a long time ago, I specifically remember saying that this was going to be settled out of court. There was no way that this was going to go to court. Activision Blizzard has all the money in the world to make sure that this thing gets settled, and they were going to settle. And of course, the people who are trying to sue Activision Blizzard, they are not going to take this serious enough to the point where they are going to ignore the money and go for a full trial and not take a settlement. Like it was pretty much guaranteed that these women were going to take a settlement. It was obvious at this point. They're not really trying to get any sort of justice. They're trying to get the money. That's really what it's about, ladies and gentlemen. And in a state like California, a woman's gonna win probably 9.9 times out of 10. So again, not very surprising that Activision Blizzard was forced to settle, but we all knew they were going to settle from the beginning. It says back in 2015, Activision Blizzard was facing multiple allegations of sexual harassment and workplace misconduct, including allegations of male employees drinking excessively and making rape jokes, as well as a story about the Cosby Suite, where one executive known for his unwanted sexual advances harassed women, and another about a female employee who offed herself after colleagues shared a nude picture of her. Now, keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, this is the same Activision Blizzard that talks all about diversity, equity, and inclusion. It's the same Activision Blizzard that virtue signals to literally everything under the sun. It's the same company that tries to pretend as if it's squeaky clean. This is why whenever these companies do this, you guys got to remember, these companies have so many skeletons in their closet. When they virtue signal nonstop, it's because they're trying to remain out of the public word of mouth. They're trying to make sure that they look as good as humanly possible, so people just leave them alone. Essentially, that's really what it is. Just leave them alone and continue on with whatever the hell they're doing internally. And this company, Activision Blizzard, has gone down the complete rabbit hole of identity politics, and has also just gone down the rabbit hole of just being a trash company. Activision, I loved Blizzard. I was a huge fan of Blizzard games. For anybody who knows this channel and knows me, I am still a huge fan of Diablo, for example. As much as I hate Activision Blizzard, I cannot stop playing Diablo. I'm obsessed with that game and that franchise. But the point is, this company, since Activision has taken over, is not the same, okay? Blizzard has died a long time ago. Blizzard of yesterday is no longer here and hasn't been here for a very long time. Ever since Activision took over, it's become this greedy conglomerate that is not about the game and it's all about the money. That's just the truth, and we know that to be the truth. So whenever they come out with these allegations, I find it hilarious that this company that tries so hard to be squeaky clean in the public eye is very clearly anything but that. It says the DFEH first detailed the claims in a complaint filed in July, and in September, California's Equal Employment Opportunity Commission responded by filing its own lawsuit. The case quickly devolved into a turf war between federal and state agencies, resulting in Activision's preferred outcome, a settlement that removed some uncertainty about its liability stemming from widespread allegations of sexual harassment during Microsoft's $68.7 billion bid to buy the company. The Wall Street Journal broke this news of the settlement, citing sources who say the CRD initially sought a settlement of more than $100 million, aiming for a payout at the same level as similar lawsuits. In May of 2023, 1,548 women were compensated from a class action lawsuit filed in 2018, alleging gender discrimination, sexual harassment, and toxic work environment at Riot Games, currently the largest state agency has reached. This included receiving unwanted images of male genitalia. Oh my God. From bosses and co-workers, an email thread of how to penetrate a female co-worker, and an alleged list circulated among senior leaders detailing who they sleep with among the female developers. The settlement was approved, with court filings indicating the payments ranging from $5,000 to more than $150,000 from the $100 million settlement for the League of Legends company. And again, Riot Games, same exact thing, heavy virtue signaling company. Anytime you get these virtue signaling companies, you can almost guarantee that they have skeletons in their closet that they are hiding, and they so desperately don't want you to know about it. They so desperately want to make it just go away, and they'll pay whatever they gotta pay to make it go away. And that's exactly what we're seeing here. You did it with Riot Games, where it was $100 million, and now you see Activision Blizzard paying almost $50 million to make everything go away. So it's very clear that these companies have a lot to hide. It says in a previous settlement with the EEOC, Activision Blizzard addressed allegations of its own sexual harassment and discrimination within the organization. The settlement included an $18 million fund for qualified plaintiffs. Additionally, the U.S. SEC looked into workplace misconduct, which led to a $35 million settlement. The lawsuit is thought to be the first move in Microsoft's takeover strategy, which would catapult the company to third position in the global video game publishing rankings, behind only Tencent Holdings and Sony Group. Activision will also donate any excess settlement funds to charities focused on advancing women in the gaming and technology industries or raising awareness about gender equality at work, according to an agreement. The settlement is subject to court approval, and terms and figures could change before implementation. In a statement to GamesIndustry.biz, an Activision Blizzard spokesperson said, "We are gratified that we have reached an agreement with the California Civil Rights Department today." Oh, I am sure they are very grateful for all of this to finally be over. They can now put it behind them. Even though they're going to get roasted for it till the end of time, they can finally put it behind them, at least until the next allegation comes out. Because let's be real, ladies and gentlemen, if these women realize that a payday is only one allegation away, then they're going to make sure that they get that payday. Whether it's true or not, they don't really care, and neither does the court system. They're going to make sure that these women get this money. So they're going to make sure that eventually, at some point in time, there's going to be another allegation. I promise you, it's going to come out about Activision Blizzard. And watch, when it does, just remember this video that you watched it and that I called it. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy it, and if you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.